Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to not Thursday night, Sunday night mini healings. It's a special event. So, welcome. Can I just vent a bit? I am so crabby about the weather. Yeah, I talk every week about the weather, but it's horrible. It's gray, it's cold. If it was any colder, it would probably snow. And it's been snowing all month of April, it seems like. So, yeah, I'm a whiner. But usually most Aprils we have like a really beautiful, nice day, 50s, 60s, sunny, the grass is green. We haven't had that this year. I think we had a couple days where it might have gotten up to 50 something, but yes, Paula, it's horrible. It really affects my mood. I didn't realize it was that bad, but it's not seeing the sun and then just really cold. I don't have green grass yet. Everything's all brown and mucky because of the rain. And there is Marina. Welcome, Marina. Oh, that's nice, Lisa. Welcome. You've been missed, Lisa. It's been a while. So glad you came. I guess Sunday night is a good night for people. So the format tonight's going to be about the same as our typical Thursday night. We're about 10 minutes in. We will start with a healing pulse, and then right after that, we will work on individual healing. Tonight, our theme is a little different, though. It's going to be working with generational and or inherited regrets. And if you don't really have one from your family, we will look and see if you have something just you from this lifetime. Welcome, Mary. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Saw your Facebook post. You're being productive today. Mary is an artist doing cool things. She's working on stuff. So yes, trying to think what pretty quiet for me. I was actually going to do tonight's live in my office because it's a little earlier. It doesn't get so dark. And I decided I didn't want to go out and turn on the heat. I'm just going to stay here with the dogs. I have a dog on each side. They're both sleeping. Rudy, my cat, is right here. Everybody's here sleeping. Yeah, we didn't get really any of that sun, Mary. It tried. It really tried, but I think we've got wind chill because it's cold. Oh, and there's Anne Marie. Welcome. So in about a minute, we will do our first healing pulse. And if you are new here, I will give you instructions. So, so I'll probably give a little bit more instruction. Oh, and there's Melody. Melody is new, so welcome. And Heidi Jean. Welcome, Heidi. I'll probably give a few extra instructions tonight just because I had a call from a guy who wanted a session today. And it came out he thought I did massage. And I'm like, nope, if you think I do massage, you'd be really disappointed if that was your expectation for an appointment. And so I suggested he stop by tonight. So I'm going to talk probably a little bit more about generalities about holistic healing and energy work and like tonight, why am I pulling generational regrets? Why would it matter? So I'll chat a little bit about that, but other than that, it's going to be a good night. So let's start our first healing pulse. So with this, I'm hoping most of you experience something with this, but I know some of you won't. For me personally, I don't often feel energy work. It has gotten better the more I do it, the more I'm open to it, and the more I clear blocks. So if you don't experience anything, don't leave. Stay because the next pieces that I'm going to do are totally different than the healing pulse. So with this, the energy goes exactly to where you want it to go. So if you're feeling something physical, that's probably where you want to send the energy. You know, like say you hit your elbow. or you have a pain in your leg. That's where you'll want to direct the energy. But if you're feeling something emotional, think about where do you feel that emotion? Or if you've got anxiety, where do you feel the anxiousness? And so when you know where that is, I want you to rub your hands together until your hands are warm, because you're going to get those energies flowing. And then place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. And there's Leslie too, so welcome, Leslie. Imagine my hands on yours. And so not only are you receiving my healing energies, but your own too. And so once you imagine my hands on yours, the most important part is just be open and allowing the energies to flow. With each breath in, imagine the energy getting to exactly where they need to go. Welcome, Victoria. Jump right in. We're doing a healing pulse. So just breathe that energy in, open and allowing. As you're exhaling, imagine that anything that doesn't belong, anything that doesn't serve you, anything that is not there for your highest good is released. But again, as you inhale, the healing energy just flows in. Okay, that was our first healing pulse of the night. Let me know how you did. We will be doing another one about 30 minutes in, and then another one about 45 minutes in. So I've got my book. Would you believe tonight is show number 95? That's a lot of shows. And it's April 24th. So with this, let me first talk a little bit about trapped emotions. Normally, when you feel an emotion, your body will process the energy and the emotion and release it, and you move on. You might have the recollection of the event attributed to that emotion, but typically your body and your mind move on. But sometimes, due to maybe it's a traumatic event, due to who knows why, your body does not process that emotion. So that emotion stays somewhere in your body. And this is typically a negative emotion. Say you were mad at someone, and instead of just getting over it, you hung on to the energy of anger. So that housed somewhere in your body, wherever that emotion lodged, that part of your body no longer functions exactly how it used to, because you've got extra energy in that part of your body. So the author of The Emotion Code, Dr. Bradley Nelson, says he believes trapped emotions are the start of diseases even. And I could see that if you have an area that doesn't function as it should, and you've got a lot of stress going on, those two combined can trigger things. So when you go through the process of evaluating things and realizing you might have these trapped energies and trapped emotions, then we'll work on releasing it. And so like tonight's thought is very similar to it about regrets. So last week we worked on trapped negative emotions that were inherited. So here's an example I usually give because it's unfortunately very common. don't know if you've ever met a whole family that everyone is just angry. And it's typically because one of the ancestors had a trapped emotion of anger and they passed it down to their family. And sometimes it doesn't hit everyone in the family, but many. And the problem is when you have trapped emotions, you tend to attract that emotion over and over again. And so it makes you very sensitive to it because you have it trapped so many times. And when you've got it inherited, you see little kids that are just angry and they're really at such a young age there shouldn't be any reason why they're angry. Well, they inherited some trapped emotions. And so with this, I've been doing more work on these special nights of doing inherited or generational things. And so tonight we're going to work on what I call generational regrets. Although I use many different lists, somebody who wrote the list calls it it's a sin list. And when I look at it, that just makes me uncomfortable because I think, who am I to say that this is a sin? So I renamed it regrets just because I'm just more comfortable with working on a person's own regrets. Um, so let's get started. I hope that's a good explanation for people who are not familiar with this concept. So it's all sort of based on Dr. Bradley Nelson's concept and his best-selling book, The Emotion Code. And I've been using his work since I think 2010. And so I've sort of made it my own and moved on. Actually, tonight we're not going to do that type of individual work, Victoria, unless we have lots of time. But with 11 people in the room already, I am not sure. So you might be afraid to move forward. But let's save the healing pulse for you and that lower back. And so tonight we're going to work on generational or inherited regrets. So if you want me to see if you have something in your family line with this, all I want you to do is put a yes in the comment section. And then I'll just see if you have anything, and then we'll track who it was from and how many generations back it was. Okay, so let's see. So I've got Paula Leslie. Ooh, lots. Cool. Let's see if I can get caught up to writing. And if I miss you, because things are scrolling a little quick right now. Okay, so Paula, Leslie, Mary, Tom, Tanya, Mary, Tanya, Heidi, Victoria, Marina, Lisa, Melody, Anne Marie. Okay. All right, so here's my list. If I missed anyone, please just say add me. Paula, Leslie, Mary, Tanya, Heidi, Victoria, Marina, Lisa, Melody, and Anne Marie. So if I don't have you on the list, just put please add me, and let's get started. So this is going to be interesting because I've never used this list before. So we will see what comes up. And so first of all, I'm going to muscle test and see. So like Paula is going to go first, and we'll check and see if she has an inherited regret from her Okay, so I'm getting that she does have an inherited regret, so let's see how far back it started. Five generations back, Paula. So let's see what it is. So 5 generations back, father's side. Okay, so let's see. So as I said, this is a new list that I have never used. So Paula, this first one, self-worship. So is that like an old-fashioned word for being a narcissist, I wonder? Although there is narcissism on the list, but self-worship. So 5 generations back, let me pull up. For those of you who were here a few weeks ago, I had this list of like 5 generations back, how many people that could play a role in that. So let me just see. Because I think, was it 4 generations back, there's like 64 people that were your grandparents, which is sort of interesting. Help if I could spell tonight. Isn't that sad? I can't remember what I called it. Let me look and see, because I did download it. It makes me wonder, why didn't I do this earlier, right? And that's okay. So I'm just going to look one more place, and if we can't find it, we can't find it. Getting closer, though. Oh, here it is. No wonder I couldn't find it. It's called Generational Ancestral Math. Okay, so this is sort of cool, especially if you have not seen this piece before. So let me select the window. Here it is. Okay, so, all right, so 5 generations back, that, let's see, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the third great-grandparent. So there are 32 of those great-grandparents. So that's sort of interesting. So let's go ahead and release that. So I'm going to just so quite interesting, the self-worship. Paula, what do you think of that? That's very curious. So I'm going to go ahead, and so that's released. And when I release, I generally release to not just you, but your entire lineage. And if like you have children, aunts, uncles, cousins, I release to the whole family. So let's see, Leslie, what you've got, because I'm getting you've got something. Oh, Satanism. Let's see how far back that is. Nine. So, and as I said, this list, I'm calling this more regrets. Well, and you think back 9 generations that it was probably more common to be pagan than many other religions. And so think about, so this comes up as a regret. So someone had a regret. So let's go ahead and release this. So very interesting here. Look at 2048. There's 9 sets of great grandparents. And so that's a lot of people. So let's go ahead and release that. And actually, Leslie, it wouldn't surprise me if many people had this or something similar just because, you know, the old ways. And they're not all evil. There's just some aspects of them that are. Okay, so that released. Mary, you're next. Let's see what comes up. So I'm getting there's something. This I'm not quite sure what this is. It says Jezebel spirit. Anybody have any ideas? I'm going to look up Jezebel. I've heard the name, but I don't really know what it is. Jezebel definition. A woman who is regarded as evil and scheming, an impudent, violent, unscrupulous, vicious woman, a bold, vicious woman, a termagant. Well, I'm still going to take this as a positive because this is a regret. So let's release this. Let me find out how many generations back for you, Mary. So I'm getting 4 generations back. So let's release this. Thank you, Marina. Thank you, Victoria. Oh, thank you, Paula. So that released. All right, Tanya, you're next. And this is a religious spirit. And so going back to the original theme, so someone had a regret. So let's see how far back this goes. Let me see. Father's side, Mary. Tanya, let's see how far back. 5 generations back, Tanya. So let's release this. So that did release. And the voids have been filled. Very interesting, huh, Mary? Okay, Heidi, you are next. Manipulation. Let's see how far back. 6 generations back. Now, a lot of these seem to be going further back than previous weeks that we checked about. You're very welcome, Tanya. So Heidi, 6 generations back, father's side. So let's go ahead and release that. Nice. So that released. Victoria, you're next. Pornography. 4 generations back. Father's side. Let's release that. You're welcome, Heidi. Okay, so that released. Marina, you are next. And then after Marina, we'll do our next healing pulse. And then we will jump back in and finish up the generational regrets. Not trusting God. Interesting. So this is a regret one of your ancestors had, Marina. You're very welcome, Victoria. So let me see where this came from, Marina. 3 generations back. So that'd be your great-grandparents. Father's side. So let's release that. So that did release. And let's do our next healing pulse. When we come back, Lisa, Melody, and Anne-Marie will be working on checking your lineage. All right, so with this next healing pulse, it's sort of the same as the first unless you decide you want to send the energy somewhere else. So I know we've got a few people that have come in. So we are going to do healing pulses where the energy goes where you direct it to go. And so what I want you to do is rub your hands together, place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. If it's somewhere physical, that's pretty easy. If you don't really have a place that you want to receive, I would suggest sending it to your heart. Imagine my hands on yours. And then be open and allowing the frequencies and the energy to flow. And just breathe that energy in. With each breath in, imagine the energy going a little deeper, a little further. Just being open and allowing. Okay, so that was healing pulse number 2. If you've come in since I've started doing the checking for generational regrets and you are not on my list, just put a yes in the comments and I will add you. So next we're up to Lisa. So Lisa, let me check and see. So I'm getting that you do have some generational regrets. So this is violating others. Let's see how far back this goes. Wow, 8 generations back, Lisa. Mother side. So let's release that because especially to have a regret that's passed down for that long. That's affected a lot of people. So let's release this. So that did release. Melody, you are next. All right, Charlene, I'm adding you to the list. Okay, so Melody, let's see what comes up for you. Hold on, I'm having a hard time connecting. You are welcome, Lisa. Pornography, Melody, so let's see how far back that goes. Five generations. Mother's side. Let's release that, because this is more about the regret than what it is. So that did release. And let's see, Anne-Marie, you are next. Anne-Marie, human sacrifice. Let's see how far back this is. Wow, 11 generations back. So let's release that. Looks like my internet's acting up a bit. My video flickered, at least from my end. Okay, so Charlene is next. This one, not trusting God. Let's see how far back that goes. 5 generations back. Father's side. So let's release that. All very interesting, and how many of these are so far back. I think the earliest was, what, 3 generations back, and then we had so many, 4, 5, 6 generations back, and then 11. So interesting that these regrets have followed your family. So I'm hoping that this makes a difference. So we still have plenty of time. So would you prefer, because I know Victoria's in some pain, so we can look and see what's going on for individual issues. So let me know if you want to work on individual issues or regarding trapped emotions, or if you want to look at generational. So I'm going to put Victoria on the top of the list for her back. So let me know if you've got something specifically you want to work on, or if you want to work on some inherited things. So if you've got something specific, just tell me like Victoria did. All right, and so with this, I can look for you overall, or say you've got some random pain, or you want to work on grief, or you want to work on happiness, or things like that. All right, Mary, I've got you on the list for generational depression. That's a good one. Because doesn't that typically, isn't that often passed through the family? All right. Okay, so Tanya, stomach and back. Leslie, sinus, shoulder. Paula wants to look more at inherited, which is cool. Marina is going to work on individual. Lisa, anxiety. Anne Marie wants to work on forgiveness. That is a good one. I should probably do a whole show on forgiveness. That's really important for our health. All right, so Marina. That's a good one, Marina. So Marina, frustration, irritation. Okay, so here's what I have for who I'm working on. So Victoria, her back. Mary, generational depression. Tanya, stomach, back. Leslie, sinuses, shoulder. Paula, inherited issues. Marina, frustration, irritation. Lisa, anxiety. Anne Marie, forgiveness. So if I missed you, please put anything in the comments. But let's get, so I'm going to go, so I think we're going to go back to negative emotions. So I've got a list of about 400 and we'll see. But, you know, I think I'm going to add a little bit of inherited to this and just see, like with Victoria, is there any inherited reasons or generational reasons why she's got these back issues? And I get a no. So I'm going to continue on to see if there's a negative trapped emotion that's affecting her back. Because I do get a yes. It's not the whole reason, but it's playing a role. So Victoria, withdrawn. Let's get an age. Around age 29, Victoria. So let's release that. So when I give ages, ages are the hardest part. So it's somewhere 27, 28, 29. Or excuse me, plus or minus a year. So 28, 29, 30. So let's go ahead and release that. So that did release for Victoria. And then Mary is next. Mary wanted to know if depression is generational. I do get a yes. Very curious, Mary. So let's see if there's a trapped emotion that started it all. And I do get a yes. And the emotion I get is mean. You know, someone being mean. Let's see how far back this goes. So 3 generations back. So that would mean a great grandparent. Let's see what side. So father's side. So Mary, did you know any of your great grandparents? I know many of us did not. but I'm going to go ahead and release this. All right, Melody, I'm going to add you to the list for anxiety. All right, so let's go ahead and do our next healing pulse. So especially those of you who are experiencing some anxiety, think about where you feel that anxiety. Where does it live in your body? I know when I'm anxious, it's in the pit of my stomach, but some people, their chest gets tight, they have a hard time breathing, their throat gets dry. So think about, where do you physically feel your anxiety? Because that's where I want you to send your energy to. You're welcome, Mary. I did release that. So let's all rub our hands together. Place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energies. Imagine my hands exactly on top of yours. And just be open and allowing the energy to flow. Breathe that energy in. With each breath in, imagine it going a little deeper. Going exactly to what that issue was, helping it heal. As you exhale, imagine things that haven't served you, things that don't belong to you, are being released through your breath. Open and allowing. So just breathe in and out that energy. Oh, oh, oh. Hold on. And that was our second healing pulse, or third healing pulse. Sorry about that. There was a bird at the window. It was pecking at the window, and my little dogs think they got to bark at everything. That was definitely different, though. I don't know if they knew healing was happening in the room or what. Very strange. So, Tanya, you are next. So let's see what comes up for Tanya. And like with Tanya, I checked to see if there's any generational things that she's inherited that are contributing to her back or stomach issues, and I get a no. All right, Charlene, I will add you to that. Most likely it'll be just one of those. I will check and see if we can group them together. Yes, Leslie, very cool. Okay, so let's see for Tanya. I'm going to just see if we need to split up the stomach versus the back, or can we do both? Nope, we got to split it. So we're going to work on your stomach issues. Misused. Let's get an age on that for you, Tanya. So around 18, so somewhere 17, 18, 19. So I don't know if there was a situation that emotion was sort of the theme. I'm getting that it allowed me to release it. All right, so Leslie, let's see for you, sinuses. No, we're going to work on your shoulder. Hold on. Now the little doggies are coming back. Inferior. Let's get an age on that and see if that rings a bell. I do get there's some truth to that, Mary. That's good for you for piecing things together. Leslie around 16, so somewhere 15, 16, 17. So let's go ahead and release that. So with, you had said stomach and back, Tanya. Basically, I'm just focusing on one thing at a time. If it's one theme for both, then I'll tell you, but right now I'm not able to do your back and your stomach, so that's related to your stomach. You are welcome, Tanya. All right, so Paula, we're going to look and see. I wrote down inherited, but did you have anything? Okay, inherited in general. So let's see what you've got. So I'm getting there is more inherited things for you, Paula. Mixed up. Let's see where that came from. Father's side. Let's see how far back. Two fathers. So this would have been your grandpa, your dad's dad. Let's see how old he was when this happened. Wow, Leslie. So that's been playing a role. Around age 26, Leslie, something happened to your grandpa that made him feel inferior. So let's release that. So that did release. And the voids have been filled. It wasn't inferior, it was mixed up around 16. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm getting my notes all mixed up. So it's Leslie, shoulder, inferior 16, and then Paula, inherited, mixed up, 26, her dad's dad, grandpa. All right. Next, Marina, we're going to work on frustration and or irritation. And with this, we're going to have to split them up. So let's see what comes up for me to work on first. We'll work on irritation. Indignant. That sort of goes together with irritation, doesn't it? Okay, so let's see what age that got trapped at, Marina. '16, Marina. So 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there. So let's go ahead and release that. So it did release. All right, Lisa, you're next. Lisa wants to work on anxiety. Let me flip my page. demoralized. Let's see what age that was. You're welcome, Marina. 26, Lisa. Let's go ahead and release that. So that did release. Anne Marie wants to work on forgiveness. Something about being worried. Let's see what age this was, Anne Marie. Around 19. So somehow that's playing a role. So let's release that. So that did release. Melody, working on anxiety. So let's see what's adding to your anxiety. Mournful. Let's get an age on that. Around age 28, Melody. So somewhere 27, 28, 29. Mournful. So let's release that. So it did release and the voids have been filled. So Charlene, let's see if you've got two things. Let's see. Do I need to separate them? I do. Which one are we going to work on? Work on judgment of self. Indecisive. So somehow that's playing a role. Sometimes these make sense and sometimes they're not sure how they link. But let's get an age on this. Around 13. So plus or minus a year, so 12, 13, 14. Let's release this. So that did release and the voids have been filled. So I've gotten through my list again. We'll do one more healing pulse. Does anyone else have any other special requests, questions? So typically I don't do generational things, but I have been the last few weeks. And so I might be doing more of it. Sunday night seems like sort of a good night, but let me know what you think of that too. You are welcome, Charlene. So let's do our last healing pulse of the night. So with this, think about where you've received the other healing pulses. If you want to send to the same place, that is fine. If you want to send to your heart, that's fine. Sometimes it helps to send to your head to calm your thoughts. So let's go ahead and rub our hands together. Place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Imagine my hands on yours. And I'm starting to send the energy now. It adds a layer of complexity, I think, and it's sort of interesting. Although when it's so many generations back, it's hard to feel a huge connection, but I think especially, if you know some of your family history, like Mary was able to put a couple links together that seemed to make sense. So very interesting. So we might do some more. Not sure if I like the regret one. That wasn't as helpful as some of the other ones we've done. So I probably won't use that list again. It's good to do once and be done with it. So just breathe in that healing energy. Imagine it just going exactly to where it needs to go. Okay, so that was Healing Pulse number 4. I hope everybody had a good night. Very interesting things that came up. And how energy can follow the generations. So yeah, I think maybe we might do this again next Sunday. I'm trying to just find the right rhythm. Yes, I think it really can add to the healing and make things even more effective. You are very welcome, Leslie. I know you try and do the Thursday nights, but maybe this is a better night for you. So thank you. Thank you, Tanya. Good, Victoria. I'm glad you're able to piece some things together. Yes. Thank you, Mary. Yes, I think I probably will add another night where at least part of the night will focus on generational issues just because it's a unique thing and very important. Good night, Heidi. I hope you have a good night too. Yes, Victoria. So I'm glad you're able to link those two together and we're able to clear it from your entire family. You're welcome. Yes, Anne Marie. Rather strange, but I'm glad that we released it. So, yep, I hope to see everyone Thursday. If not Thursday, we'll plan something again for next Sunday. So have a fabulous night. Bye.